Hello, everyone. Welcome on this Wednesday evening. Okay, let's see if I can share my screen here. Okie dokie. Get myself all set up here so I can see your questions. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. Oh, Istanbul time. Well, yeah, that would be late. Okay, let's look at some of these hands. I took a look at some of them while I was directing. So starting here with number one, it's just worth noting that this East hand with all of this shape is worth bidding game with, right? And so you'll see John Kraniak, who, if you don't know John, he's very, very good, very aggressive, but very, very good player around my age. And yeah, his partner made a weak bid, and he only has 13 high card points, and 2 of them are the Queen of Hearts. But 5-5, you take your shot. And yeah, the hand, plays okay, good enough. Yeah. Another one, I wanted to look at hand number 2. I always love these sort of hands where the best player in the room does a trick better, and you just always have to ask yourself why. Right? How on earth did he manage to take 11 tricks here, right? Because you're always losing to the ace queen of spades. So they let a club and he drew trumps, and a heart came back and he drew the other trump. And now you can see he's got 2 pitches coming on the king and queen of clubs. So he can throw the 6 and the 3 of diamonds, and he's stuck with just the deuce. And it doesn't look like there's a lot of hope for something to do, right? And if North just switched to diamonds now, they would take their diamond trick and the hand would be over. But Cran sees that there's one extra little chance, which is that the queen of diamonds roughs out. Or he could play for the 10 of diamonds to rough out and play the queen. But it's much easier to play this way. So he played over to the clubs, right? Took the clubs first, just in case someone pitched down to singleton queen of hearts. And now when he roughs that heart, the queen pops out. He can cross over in trumps, and the jack of hearts throw the diamond away. So you take advantage of the little mistakes. Right? Not that it was like obvious that it was what you had to do, Tracy, but it turns out on this one, if you don't take the diamond because of the queen third of hearts, it can disappear. So, when things go favorably as declarer, you're looking for that one extra little piece. That was a nice play by Cran. I wanted to look at number 5. If any of you have questions about a specific hand, let me know. I just, I'm going to talk about the ones I thought were interesting. But, you played them. I just watched them. How do you think that the West hand should rebid after they open a heart and they hear a spade from their partner? So we got a few different votes here. Gordon here bid 4 spades. And, Bob opened this hand. Well, that made it hard not to try for slam. And, they're just off 2 key cards, so they're not going there. And this one went a heart, a spade, 3 spades. So let's start with how good is this West hand in context? It's 16 high card points, but it is hard for me to envision a better 16-point hand than this one, right? You've got 4 card support for partners major. You've got this almost running suit in hearts. You're 6-4. You're all aces and kings. Like, this is so good. Can I imagine a 1 spade bid opposite which we don't want to be in game? I mean, I'm sure I could put one together, but it would be tricky. I think we want to be in game 99% of the time opposite a 1 spade response. And what does partner need for slam? Like, king, queen, 5th of spades is probably enough, right? Partner can rough out the hearts and throw diamonds or whatever, rough a club. King, queen, 5th, probably enough to do it. Certainly king, queen, 4th or 5th and the queen of hearts or the king of diamonds. I mean, that's how strong these 6-4s are, especially when you have aces, when you have solid or semi-solid suits like this. So what I would do, I would splinter a heart, a spade, and I bid 4 clubs. Game forcing, 4 card support, slam interest, shortness in clubs. Today that's going to slow East down because, they have to devalue the king of clubs. I mean, they love the queen of hearts, but now knowing about the general shape, so that opener is going to be short in clubs, relatively short in diamonds, like having all your values in partner short suits, generally not what you're looking for. So, you don't have the right hand as East, and so you would put the brakes on. Okay. Number 8 I thought was interesting because I saw a bunch of people pass forcing bids. It's amazing how just a simple 2 spade preempt can really throw off an auction. A club is normal, 2 spades is normal, and then East has this really good hand. And some folks here started with 3 diamonds. Some started with a negative double. I kind of like negative double and get the hearts into play, and then, I can maybe bring the diamonds in later if need be. Here, the problem with the double is that it does give West here a tricky time, right? Like, are you going to rebid your 5-card club suit? You could, right? This West chose to bid 3 hearts, and then, I'm not sure why they're not in game. New suit by the responder needs to be forcing. So there's nothing like attractive that you want to do, but 3 diamonds is game forcing. And here they went double, and now Cran bid 3 spades, which is aggressive, but Honor Doubleton, you make this double even harder. And now, is a new suit by responder forcing in this scenario? Yeah, I think it has to be. East hasn't limited their hand at all. They need to be able to come in with 4 diamonds and say, hey, I doubled to show my 4 hearts, but I also have diamonds. Like, it, the assumption when they are preempting is that it's our hand. And, East hasn't had a chance to limit their hand. Playing 4 diamonds as non-forcing is just aiming at way too narrow a target. Are there hands where you would like a non-forcing 4 diamonds? Of course there are. Are there more hands where you want a forcing 4 diamonds so you can keep hearts in the picture. You can keep 4-no trump in the picture. You can keep slam in the picture. We prioritize those. They're more common and they're more important. So yeah, I would say forcing, which is interesting that at every table, either a forcing bid was passed or, we just pass without going to game. So that's simple 2 spades. Yeah. Let's see. Number 11, I know one pair didn't get to. We had something very similar, right? A club, 2-heart preempt, 3 diamonds. I mean, East has no good bids here. Maybe like 6-no trump. I don't remember. Oh, this hand, Kenny didn't overcall the hearts, so they just kind of into 6-no trump. A club, 2 hearts, and you have this hand. I think I would bid 6-no trump. I mean, I really don't know what else you can do. I mean, 3 diamonds is definitely forcing, so you could do that, right? Barbara, I guess, was looking for a forcing bid and found one, and then it got passed. But just remember, new suits by responder are forcing, as long as responder's not an unpassed or not a passed hand. You could Q-bid 3 hearts. You don't really have club support. And this Q-bid doesn't 100% promise club support, but what are you hoping to hear from partner? So yeah, I would just bid 6-no trump. It turns out, do we want to be? Yeah, I guess 6-no trump's as good as anything. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then maybe a diamond finesse or lead or something for 13 tricks. Yeah, I've never. Well, I'm not going to say never. It's not common that you see someone's first bid of the auction be 6-no trump, but when that's the bid that makes sense, I mean, it's hard. It's just hard to imagine ending up somewhere other than 6-no trump on this hand, unless partner can raise to 7. 15. One of these wild, shapely hands. Did everyone open a club? No. So 2 out of 3 opened a club. When you have 6 clubs and 5 spades, you can almost always afford to open a club, because it's going to go a club and partner's going to bid a diamond or a heart, and you can come back with a spade. And then, maybe you have a chance to bid your spades again later and you show your 6-5. When you have 6 clubs or diamonds and 5 hearts, it's a different story, because now it's going to go a club, a spade, and if you bid 2 hearts, it's a reverse. So if you're not strong enough to reverse with 5 hearts and a 6-card minor, you usually open a heart. That actually came up in the game this afternoon. But when my 5-card major is spades, I almost always open a club. So yeah, I mean, you kind of see what happened here: a club, a diamond, a heart, a spade, 4th suit forcing, rebid the spade, showing 6-5, and we get ourselves to game. That was a nice auction. Here, where they opened a spade, passed 2 diamonds, and notice Cran bidding 2 hearts. He's coming into a 2/1 auction, but he's white against red, and he's really shapely. And so the point of this is to suggest a sacrifice, to preempt. Maybe we push them too high. Maybe we get in the way of their slam exploration, whatever. So when you come into a 2/1 auction, occasionally you'll throw something in mostly for lead directing, but that's very dangerous. Usually it's because you have a lot of shape and you want to suggest a sacrifice. So yeah. And then this pair got a little high, got to 6 spades. 6 5s are really strong, but these hands didn't quite fit together well enough, right? Take the king of hearts and make it the king of spades or the king of clubs. Now it's pretty good. Yeah. 17. This was an interesting defensive problem. So let's see. Oh, it was at this table that it was a defensive problem. So 2 of the tables played in spades, east-west, and you have to lose a heart and a couple diamonds, and you might lose something else along the way in passing. But at this other table, they played in 5 diamonds. So a diamond, a spade, and then both north and east cubed, saying, I have a good raise for you, partner. So we ended up 4 spades, 5 diamonds. And so the opening lead is the king of spades. What information does West need to know from their partner at trick 1? Is it, I like this suit, I have the ace, keep playing it? Or is it, how many spades do you have so I know whether a second one is cashing? This is a count situation. Generally, when we lead the king at the 5 level or higher, we give count. But especially in this situation where we know we have a fit from the auction, we know declarer is going to be relatively short. But, from West's point of view, East could have made the cubed raise on ace jack third, and there's just 2 spades cashing, right? So whatever their agreements are, right? If you're playing standard, you would play the 9, your highest spot card. Right. Again, I don't know their carding agreements, but once you, as West, if you're confident that that's what's going on, you need to shift to hearts now. Right? It turns out that they needed to start with the heart, just because of because it's a singleton and he can't get over to his partner for the king of hearts. It's actually kind of funny. So you want to just start with the heart, and you might do that anyway. Singletons are not bad leads, but once they continue spades here, declarer can win, draw trumps, knock out the ace of clubs, and then throw the queen of hearts on the 4th round of clubs, and they don't have to take the finesse. Whereas if you switch to hearts right now, declarer's almost forced into taking the finesse, right? It's funny on this hand if they don't. If they just go up with the ace, they draw trumps and knock out the ace of clubs, and the king of hearts is set up, and West can't do anything about it because they don't have a heart to get over there. So you actually have to lead the heart on opening lead so that when you get in, you can cross over to east in spades and take the king of hearts. It's a funny little hand. But the important thing is, what sort of signal are we giving here? What does partner need? And generally at the 5 level, count is pretty important, as we have to decide, is this suit going to cash? Let's see, what did I... All right, pass. One or two of you opened a diamond on the north hand. It's not wrong to open a diamond, but it's not right either. So here's my philosophy for opening in third seat. I say, would I open the hand in first seat, right? Because then it's just an opening hand and I'm opening it. If not, I say, would I overcall with this hand? If I have a decent 5-card suit and I have 10, 11 points, whatever, I'm a fairly solid overcaller. So I'm not one who's going to overcall on queen fifth with a 6 count, right? So I'm talking about like a reasonable atom, like vulnerable sort of overcall. Then I'll open the hand in third seat. But if I'm balanced with 10 or 11 points, usually not, especially if I don't want partner leading the suit. So just because you're allowed to open a little light in third seat doesn't mean you should or have to. When you're balanced, don't open a hand that you wouldn't open in first seat, unless you have like a really good suit that you want led, right? If you have ace, king, jack 10 of diamonds, in a 11 count, like maybe you open a diamond, but otherwise let it go. Let it be. Wow, we got to 4 clubs here. Yeah, a lot of bidding, but well, that's the one where one of the ones where North opened. Yeah, it's hard to shut South up after that. We have a fit. All right. Those were the ones I noted as we were going along. Were there others anyone else would like to talk about? Let's do one of these where I actually played all the hands. All right. Well, thank you all very much. A reminder that there's a West Coast game tomorrow night, 6:30 West Coast time, 9:30 East Coast time. And we'll have special guests all week. Audrey Grant is our special guest tomorrow. We're all really looking forward to that. Barbara, you can get the hands in your history. So on the main page, if you go to history, it'll show you tonight's game. And it'll show you the overall results here. And then you go onto boards and you can go board by board. Make sure you choose your own pair so that you're looking at the right cards. And you can go over to board results and see how other people did on that board. You're welcome. If you ever have questions about how do I do this or that on Swan, we have a great help page. If you go up here to help, all of these things, like audio visual, there's a video tutorial that I made, and then, very detailed written out instructions with screenshots and all of that stuff. I did my very best to make these things very clear. So please do check those out. And if you have any questions or issues with any of that, I'm the one to let know because I made most of these. But you see, we have a lot of video tutorials on our YouTube page. Check out our YouTube page for all of these. I have a series on how to fill out the convention card. And we're posting the videos of these post-game analyses. So you can see me and Steve Weinstein and other luminaries. Thank you all so much for being here. Oh, I got a question. I love questions. Thoughts on the bidding on board 20? Oops. Go back to the history. Board 20. I actually am not sure I looked at board 20 since it was the very last one. So let us see. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So pretty clear one club opening. And it looks like a spade and a no trump. And then, you've got 10 points, 10 high card points, a good 6-card suit, a little mini fit with partner, like Jack third of clubs, is not, the jack in partner suit is certainly somewhat appealing. So I think it's an invite. There's going to be hands where you invite and partner has the right hand and doesn't know it and you miss game. And so at imps, there's a good argument for just bid 4 spades and try to make it. But I think inviting makes a lot of sense. So it looks like your sequence, 2 clubs, force 2 diamonds, right? And so 3 spades is then the invitational. If you're playing standard, it would be more like 1 spade, 1 no trump, just 3 spades. Two spades here is non-forcing. It's to play. Like you're not allowed to bid again as North. So it should have just gone 2 spades pass. And yeah, they just bid 4 spades. I mean, it's hard to imagine the North hand not going when invited. If they get invited, right? Like 13, but it's a pretty concentrated 13, queen third of trumps, and king third or king doubleton of clubs, king doubleton of diamonds could be a useful roughing value. It's just unfortunate that you're off 4 tricks off the top. But yeah, I mean, if they don't lead a club, I guess you can throw a club away on the hearts, right? So did we get a club lead from every table? Wow. Right? It's one thing if the ace, king, queen were on lead, but everybody led a club through dummy's suit. Interesting. I guess passive leads have become pretty popular. No one wanted to lead away from their queens. It makes me happy. I'm a big proponent of passive leads. I would also lead a club. I would lead the 7 of clubs, but yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. Everybody got there, whether you invited, signed off, or just forced a game. Everybody got there. Everybody found the magic lead. Sometimes you guys are just too good, and I just don't have a lot to teach you. So thanks again for being here, everybody. We really appreciate the support. Please, we're always looking for feedback at SwanGames.com. Every week we're adding stuff and fixing things based on people's feedback. And please do tell your friends, and I hope you can make it tomorrow for our special guest, Audrey Grant. Thanks, everybody.